から自由を奪おうというのか。
What have I ordered that? Oh yeah, that's all right. I ordered that. I knew I ordered that. Cool.
Hello.
What?
Oh, there's
Hello?
Webby.
Hello.
All right, mate.
How do you do, mate?
Hey, how's it going? All right?
Am I sounding clear?
Yeah.
Yep.
Clear as
Awesome.
can be.
Good.
You sounded terrible last week.
Fuck off. Oh, it sounds sexy. You know that.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
I'm just
Cool.
enjoying an Elvis juice.
Oh, good God.
Just having the one Elvis juice tonight.
Good for you.
Oh no. This cough is almost nearly gone as well, which is great. I've only had it for over 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. How's your side at the moment? All right.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for asking. Yeah, all
That's
good.
all right. Good.
Yeah, so... Are you tired there, Darren?
Well, yeah, sort of like random.
Do we know if Colin's coming on or not?
Well, I told him to. You know what he's like. He's probably just wanting to play Warzone.
Well, that's the only game he plays.
Exactly. If he doesn't come on, we'll give him a load of abuse. That's what usually happens.
Yeah. Cool beans. Cool. How's everyone in the Twitch chat tonight? I see we've got a few familiar faces. Clarky79, Hammered Spy, Hogarth, Nikki. Hello.
That's yeah.
Oh, I'm not in there. I better leave. There we go. What a bump your viewers up.
It's all good in the hood, my man. It's all good in the hood. I haven't had you on for ages. That's why I asked you to come on. Been a while.
Yeah, I ain't played hardly nothing, so it's probably a good job you didn't ask me to come on.
So me and Darren can talk about MMOs and Animal Crossing just to piss everyone off.
I'm gonna actually refuse to talk about 14 now until the next update.
Okay.
In April, because I think I bored everyone to shit and back last week.
Oh, did you? I haven't listened to last week.
I think I rambled for about 10 minutes, and Webby had to come in and be like, "Darren, like, move on."
No, it's more like 45 minutes actually.
No, that's just what it felt like.
Oh my good God! Someone cough.
That's still me. That's still me. I haven't hit the record button yet, so I'm gonna have to, when I cough, hit the mute on my mic.
Okay.
For the rest of the show. Okay. All right, we're gonna start in a moment. So. Oh, Colin's here. Hello, Colin. Hello, Collie Wally. Testing.
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me? Testing.
Yes.
Yeah, perfectly, mate.
Perfectly.
Nice.
Good.
Not too crowded.
No, it's all good.
Enjoying President's Day.
Enjoying my bank holiday. Yes.
So, which president are you celebrating on President's Day?
The acquitted one.
None of the bastards.
We're like that with kings and queens, mate. Don't worry. Plenty of those.
Yeah.
When was the last time you guys had a president where you didn't have to say, right, now, which one of these pricks do I hate the least?
It's been a while.
I thought Bill Clinton was a pretty decent president. I mean,
it's kind of like
come on.
Clinton.
Yeah, getting impeached for insurrection while having a blowjob. I don't know.
Down this path.
If I ever met him, I'd give him a high five and be like, "Yes, mate. Nothing wrong with that."
We're going to end up with The Rock as president soon. Oh my God, that's going to be terrible.
Hopefully,
that'd be good.
Yeah,
I think it'd be all right.
Maybe he can unify everyone finally.
Yeah, or give him a people's elbow.
I was going to say people's elbow.
That'll make steroids mandatory.
I don't think he could though, because he's not actually American, is he? I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was.
Oh, he was.
All I want to know is when he turns up in like other sort of like countries for the meetings of leaders. I hope he comes out to his opening track.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to love The Rock back in the wrestling days, man. Oh, those were the times. Good old days.
I kind of didn't. I was more of a Stone Cold fan.
Oh, Stone Cold was my favourite. but that was the best. That Stone Cold versus The Rock was the greatest rivalry in WWF history, or WWE now, as they call it. Yeah.
Yep.
See, the funny thing is they got rid of the name, obviously, because of the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about anything about the World Wildlife Fund for decades now.
I have. Be saving
Oh, right.
pandas, saving pandas left, right, and centre, mate.
Unless they
Because if you
Oh,
type
yeah.
in
Lots of
WWF
stuff.
on Google, that says, "Did you mean the WWE?"
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, because the World Wildlife Fund were trying to sue wrestling for years and years for that name, weren't they? Absolutely years.
Well, I got pissed off because that was originally 3 W's and an F, and then they pissed them off even more by removing one of the W's.
Yeah, it was
Like,
just
yeah.
W, yeah.
Well, what was it? The Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they bought out WCW, didn't they? I remember that.
Yeah.
That was an epic time because I remember that. Because I remember like they used to have street fights, obviously fake. WWF versus WCW before WCW actually got properly bought out by.
Well, wasn't it
WWF.
Shane McMahon that apparently bought out like the WCW, and he was like jokingly is like a storyline pitting him against his father's WWE.
Yeah. And didn't they buy out the ECW as well in the end?
We bought them all, mate.
Fucking nuts. And now look, it's gone right downhill. It's shit now.
Oh, that's because they got no one in the arenas because of COVID. Maybe but
before COVID, it's just shit because the characters are just not as good, and it's just meh.
You're just reminiscing.
It's because they got no competition, mate. They just don't give a shit. They're making money no matter what they do, so they don't really care.
AEW is supposed to be the big rising one, isn't it? I suppose, but
that's sort of merged with TNA as well.
Hasn't MMA just taken over everything though? That's like just become.
I was like a bit of TNA.
I bet you do.
God.
I think they've changed it now to Impact Wrestling because people knows what that means.
Okay. Cool. Right, shall we start?
Yeah, what's the order?
Just looking at my list. Dan, Colin, Nikki, Darren. How's that?
Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Episode 59 we are this week. Cool. Right. And a free. Oh, let me hit the record button.
That's a good idea.
Do that.
So the amount of weeks where I forget to hit the record button, then I have to download the bloody video off Twitch. Pain in the arse. But there we go. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And a 3. And a 2. And a 1. Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast episode 59 for Tuesday the 16th of February 2021. I'm your host Mark Webb, Gaming Tag Piss on D, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me on this fine Monday evening is...
It's no longer cold, said my dad.
Hello, it's Collie Wally.
Amazon customer service is shit, Nick Wilson.
And Sensei Switch, and I will not be mentioning a certain game now for quite some time. Breathe a sigh of relief, people.
That's all right, because I can mention it, it's fine.
Yeah. We'll drag it out of you, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've had some comments, I know, about certain games that me and Darren talk about, and I don't give a fuck, so I'm going to be talking about it this week.
That's fine. It's fine. If you're playing it, it's fine.
Yep.
You know?
If there's an event, it's still relevant.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's it.
You can always fast forward.
Yeah. So anyway, we didn't do the show yesterday because yesterday was Valentine's, and we wanted to be all romantic for those of us that got wives and partners and stuff. So we spent some time with them, just so we didn't piss them off. Even though my missus said to me,
time with yourselves if you're not.
Yeah, and then my missus said to me, "Well, I don't really mind if you did a podcast tonight." And I was like, "Oh, you don't want to spend any time with me on Valentine's then?" And she was like, "Well, we don't do cards or anything." So we got Colin instead. So
yeah.
Colin's back to talk about his one game he plays.
Yeah.
I've been playing 2 games.
Oh.
Whoa, I am surprised.
Actually, I've got some stuff to talk about. But...
Good man.
Okay,
Good
sweet.
man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear about these other games you've been playing.
Yeah.
Oh, this game.
Yeah, or game.
It's still a small number, yes.
So anyway, before we talk about what we've been playing, I would like to mention some news.
Go on.
Just give me 2 seconds. This is not. Oh, for fuck's! Why has it done this?
Here we go. Edit.
I know. No, I actually because I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it, and this is a Patreon show, so I need to thank all the Patreons.
Okay.
Very quickly.
Is it? Oh, that's why we haven't got peeps this week.
Yeah.
Thank you,
so,
Hogarth. And that's about it.
No, so I need to thank Craig Wood, Stefan, Sly, Sean, Nikki Wilson, David, Paul, Jason, Strokey, Ryan, John, Nigel, Sean, Despicable Mind, John Smith, Brian, Phil, and Wes.
Nice.
Thank you
Thank
very
you all.
much for
Yeah,
making these
cheers.
extra shows come alive. You are.
And I forgot
legends.
to cancel a Patreon.
You bastard.
Yay.
I've already had one person cancel this month. I know.
I'd be sick of you keep calling everyone freeloading scum.
I know. Well, I can't help it, mate. It's just my sense of humour, and I know it doesn't come across quite the same on, in text and all that, calling everyone tight fuckers for not subscribing. But there we go. It's a £5 a month. It's not much. Do it. Do it now. You tight bastards.
Instead of buying bog roll, you know.
Instead of buy, well, you're not going to the pub. The pubs are still closed. That's 1 pint. Yeah. You must
Well,
have
one
pint's
of the.
worth.
Well, it's less than a pint here.
Well, you're
Yeah.
obviously in Cheapville.
Well, no, it's less than a pint. Or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. I'm so looking forward to the pub. I've missed it. I haven't
I'm
been in a
looking
pub
forward to
since
the pub as
Christmas
well.
Eve. But
I'm going to
yeah.
come over there.
I
We're
haven't
gonna do
been
it
in
large.
a pub since
Alright.
2019.
Wow.
I actually went to a pub when the pubs were briefly open in the summer, when they had that eat out to help out thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you were part of the problem, yeah?
No, because I sat outside. I sat outside in the sunshine.
Dude, the
Drinking
squirrel
beer.
has a lovely
Yeah.
backyard beer garden, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does, but I didn't go to that one.
Ah.
Yeah, Anyway, some news. So, first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who turned up for our Battlefield 4 session on the Xbox. Clarky, Hogarth, who else turned up? AJ turned up to say hello.
Peeps was in chat.
Dan was there. Peebs eventually turned up when he downloaded all the updates.
That was epic.
Yeah, Rooski Doo turned up. Was there anyone else? Am I missing anyone?
I think that should be it. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You sent me a party invite and I just ignored you.
You bastard. But, yeah, well, it was actually really, really good. I mean, that game came out in 2013. I can't actually believe how old it is. Because we actually played it on the 360, and it was one of those games that like transitioned over to the next gen console. So we were all rocking the old Mojo clan tags because that's how old it is. Was Rubbish on too, Hogarth? I don't think so. He definitely wasn't in the party chat, so no. He might have been playing it on his own, but he definitely didn't join our game. But it would have been nice if he did. So yeah, we're definitely going to do it again. So I know those of you have struggled with downloading it because it's all on Game Pass. So you need to download the game, but it only downloads the actual freaking game. So you need to, once it's downloaded, press start on the game and then go to manage your installation. And there's option in there which lists all the DLCs. Just tick them all and then click install, and then it will download them all. It's quite a big install, but then you'll have all the maps.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we had a blast, didn't we, Dan? It was.
It was
Did you
alright,
win
yeah.
any games?
Yes, and we lost a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, we lost a load, we won a load, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it still holds up quite well. So, I actually read some news today about Battlefield 6, and apparently it's going to be very similar to Battlefield 4. The rumor is that Battlefield 6 will feature Levolution on steroids.
What is Evolution?
Where
The galaxy and building stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's going to only have 4 classes, but it's also going to have free-to-play elements.
Boo.
Which is
Other
really
words,
good to see.
microtransactions out the
Battle
wazoo.
Royale.
Oh,
Mhm.
God.
Do you reckon it'll be out this
You
year?
sound like Sideshow Bob.
He does when he... Yes, when he hits the rakes in his face, yeah.
Oh God, they'll be partying with cash. Oh, they're wanting all sorts of money. EA. Oh man, no, this.
Do you reckon it's going to be this year?
No.
Because
I
they
mean,
haven't had a Battlefield now for what, 2 or 3 years?
I think we'll have. Possibly you'll have announcements coming in when the next financial year starts in April.
Yeah.
So if it's going to happen this year, expect some news a month after next. Maybe later, maybe even E3. But we know it's coming.
So apparently Battlefield 5 has a Battle Royale mode. I haven't tried it. But it's probably shit.
Battlefield,
Battlefield
yeah.
5's World War II, right? Weapons and all that.
Yeah. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Balls.
So yeah.
You can check it out. I think have a look at it, see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been playing the single player. It's actually quite good. I actually have to say it.
Eat humble pie.
Decent. It's actually got really
thing...
crap achievos though, because most achievements are multiplayer.
Well,
so you only get achievements for beating the missions, and that's it.
Yeah, TiVos aren't all that, mate. I know you guys.
No, I'm just sticking up for
you
Pete,
furiously masturbate over them, but it's
yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Cool. So that's that bit of news anyway. So big thank you to Clarky for choosing the game for Battlefield 4. I do want to do another one maybe this week, and then we can try and do some gamer nights every Friday. Just get the community to maybe. Well, if we get the community to choose a game, and if that game's on Game Pass, it's even better because everyone can join in then. Having to spend any money.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Game Pass games only, mate. Yeah.
Oh, it's loads to choose from, so
exactly.
It's all good.
Nice.
Test Drive Tuesdays.
Woo woo! Gears with beers.
Oh, Gears, yeah. see, I turned there 180 degrees. Done.
A bit of Forza. Yeah, we can have a Forza Friday. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Get thinking, people.
Yeah. What I would really like though is to have a community Sea of Thieves session as well.
Yeah.
It's really good with people. It's actually really, really good.
You remember what it was like when we first started playing that? It was like
dog shit.
The blind leading the blind. It was. We didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, but now it's decent, man. It's decent. It is where they've done so much to that game.
I still need my handheld though.
Yeah, I know. It's fine.
We all have to buy cats though if we buy that.
Yeah.
And then fire it into the fucking cannonball.
We need to get Darkest Frost on with us because he plays it all the bloody time, so it's all good. Burnout Paradise, Clarky mentioned, so yeah, can do that as well. Love a bit of Burnout. So there's loads of stuff we can play, guys. Just get the community gaming going again. Let's do
Call of
this.
Duty Modern Warfare.
We can do some Call of Duty for you, Colin. It's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Right, a little bit of news then. I'm going to spend a tiny bit of time slagging off PlayStation now. I'm sorry for the PlayStation fans out there.
Good thing Stunty's not a Patreon.
I'm really hoping Stunty's not listening to this week's show.
Dude, he's at a breaking point. He's already like...
Oh, no.
I'll see what you got to say because I knew this was coming.
Well, I've actually got 2 bits of news.
Okay.
About PlayStation this week. And it does sadden me because I used to be a huge PlayStation fanboy back in the day, and I still think, the best JRPGs come out on that system, even though Xbox is drastically catching up now. Putting all the Final Fantasy series pretty much onto Game Pass, the Yakuza games and stuff. But the one thing, and I put this on Twitter this week, and I got a mixture of replies, actually, which was quite interesting. Look, quite a few people defending this. Now, Sony Studios, their own games have been and are in future releasing on the PlayStation 5 for £70. Now, I personally think that it's a fucking rip-off. That is just redonk. Like every other game on the next gen systems, PS5, Xbox, whatever, comes out at like 50 quid. But for some reason, Sony Studios have got their thumb up their arse and think they can charge 70 fucking quid for their own games. It's fucking bollocks. I can't believe people are defending those prices. They're just insane. Absolutely insane. You got Demon Souls, which is a fucking remaster of a PS3 game, 70 quid. And then you got Ratchet and Clank, not the greatest game in the world, 70 fucking quid.
Wow. I thought
Madness.
that would have been cheaper.
Absolutely madness. And then people were saying to me, oh yeah, but you can pick it up for £62 on Shop 2. It's still on fucking 62 quid for a game. You're insane.
What happened to 40 quid?
So I had a lot of people supporting me with this, but then I had a lot of PlayStation fanboys being like, well, 70 quid's fine. I used to pay that for a Super Nintendo game in the 90s. And I'm like, yeah, and that's fair, but then you got to take into the factor that a lot of that cost was the actual cartridge itself. Yeah.
If you're importing games, it'll cost you about 70 or 80 quid.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you're thinking they're charging 70 quid for either a disc, which costs like a penny, or a digital download, which is the cost of what their servers are hosting on or whatever. And I know people are like, oh yeah, but games cost more to make these days, blah, blah, blah. I understand those arguments, but personally, I think 70 quid is a silly price.
I think, what do I think? I think with this particular scenario, Sony have kind of waited for the change in generation for implementing this. We've seen recently, I suppose, in the last 10 years or so, standard price of 40 quid to 45, 50 quid. Not too much 60 anymore, though the Mass Effect Legendary Edition I've seen has been down for pre-order for 60 quid on Amazon. That went straight up.
Steep.
I know, I thought it was steep because I was thinking, well, you do get a little bang for your buck, but again, it is steep. But we've kind of in a scenario now, and I'm not justifying. I mean, I think to a degree that Sony have taken have reported to taking a massive hit on the cost and selling through PlayStation 5s. They're losing money, even though you can't really get hold of one at the moment. So, and then you've got, I guess, PlayStation Plus potentially not being as profitable as Game Pass allegedly. So you've got all these kind of economies working in tandem, and at the end of the day, and they are responsible to shareholders. And at the end, and if consumers are willing to pay that price, I'm afraid Sony are going to get away with it.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see what the market will bear, but what is the justification?
It's just because it's new generation. That's it. See what you can get away with.
Yeah, but it's only the Sony Studios games that have been priced
so
like
it's
that.
like
Everyone
4 games a year then.
Yeah,
it's silly. It's still silly though because because the thing is, like, my worry is other publishers will copy, which could happen. I don't know, but I personally don't. It's hard to see what people do because a lot of gamers out there are quite conscious. It's a hobby. They've got a lot of people have got families, kids, or whatever. It's hard to justify to your wife in a lot of cases spending 70 quid on a video game.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry,
you go.
No, I was basically saying that the kind of the £70 price tag has been here for a while in disguise, in stealth mode, mainly because of all these fucking Ultimate Editions that are out and about. So, you buy the base game and you have a massive load of content carved out of it to get a cheaper price. And we've seen that happen time and time again, like the Ultimate Edition of this, Ultimate Edition of that.
Yeah. But then you still got the choice of buying the game at 50 quid or whatever.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you're missing tons of the content and any kind of maybe potential future support. We've always had this problem with gaming. I mean, the advent of, I suppose, resale and trade-ins did impact them back in the day. Hence, we had the online passes being sold through and so forth. So the industry is constantly looking at ways of how can we get more price per unit out of this. I mean, it's if you were to look at now, for example, Street Fighter 5, a good example. When that first came out, you're looking at, I think I paid about, was it 40 quid for it? Push, maybe a bit more. And now, they're expecting you to pay £100 more at least to get all the characters by now. I feel like it's over the lifespan of 5 years.
Yeah.
This game, but you are end up looking at a game that is literally 3 times the price you've paid for it.
Yeah.
And again, you constantly looking at ways of how do you maximize the revenue per title. So whether that's through microtransactions, DLC, updates, different kinds of packages and so forth.
Yeah.
This is the next step, and Sony could look at these games. Okay, well, we could make an Ultimate Edition for this with a couple of shitty skins and maybe a download CD soundtrack. But fuck it, we'll just put a steelbook in it, piss off Switch, and charge 70 quid for it, and then call it the version. I think this you're right in the sense of flagging this, Webby, but they've been up to this kind of shady shit for ages.
It's just one of the things that's made me want to talk about this is because I've not seen anyone else talking about this price increase, and you compare it to games last gen. Yeah, the RRP was say 50 quid. That's a £20 increase for games, right? I feel that's a big jump. Also, I seriously think that, and people can slag me off or whatever, if Microsoft or Nintendo did this, the internet would be going mental. Oh, Microsoft, Nintendo, you're fucking ripping everyone off. You're a bunch of cunts, blah, blah, blah. But because it's PlayStation, everyone's like, oh, yeah.
I don't think that's true.
You can take me up the arse and charge me 70 fucking quid for that fucking game. Fucking happy you can't.
Yeah, he's lost it.
Yeah,
well, I don't want to spend too much time on this one because I think I'm more interested in the other thing about Sony that you want to gripe about. But how does the whole Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, subscription model fit into this, if at all? Like, because I was going to say, it feels like games are getting more accessible, not less accessible. Or you pay your 15 quid a month, or $15 a month for Game Pass. And that turns out to be, $180 a year. That's 3 retail titles total.
Yeah.
But you can play dozens and dozens of games, and any new game that's released by Microsoft Studio, Microsoft-owned studio, and presumably the same for PlayStation Plus. So, is the plan? Is Sony not going to include these in their equivalent of Game Pass, or their
they don't have. Well, they've got PlayStation
they
Plus.
End up on now, but it's usually like months later down the line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, years.
Just wait a few months.
Yeah, or years. I mean, I don't expect to see these Sony Studio games on PS Now or PS Plus for a long time. To be honest, if they're charging that, they're not going to be like, oh, we'll put them on the service 6 months later, just because people would then just wait, right? So I reckon it'll be a long time.
Just wait a month before you buy the Sony games, because they're mostly single player, and they'll be patched and be. Normally, all games are broken now on launch, and if you wait a month, it'll really upset their initial sales, and they'll drop the price anyway.
Yeah, or just get it on eBay.
The big Sony ones are usually pretty well done before they go out. I must admit.
And it's not me being a fanboy or anything like that. I just like good value, and I personally think, like, I see a lot of people talking about Game Pass in the Twitch chat at the moment. I think Game Pass is good value for money. If you pay for Ultimate, you get PC, Xbox, and the streaming service as well. And I know the Microsoft exclusive games, a lot of people can argue that they're not on par with the Sony exclusive games, but I think Microsoft are getting there. They've bought a lot of studios, and there's going to be a lot coming in the future. A lot of people have said that the price point of Game Pass cannot be sustainable, so expect to see price rises. We'll see. Nothing's guaranteed at the moment, right? I mean, they've got millions and millions of subscribers at the moment. They're making a lot of money off it, so
Microsoft have a lot of money anyway from their other ventures, so like they can bankroll it for ages, and as long as that gives them a bigger foothold in the market share overall, when things do obviously move forward inevitably, like 5+10 years down the line, they're going to have an even bigger foothold and a more advantage going forward.
100%. Yeah, I think it's a great service. Not because I've been back to gaming on my console a lot more recently, and I've been loving Game Pass on the Xbox because there's a lot of different games on there compared to the PC. So I've been really enjoying the service. To be honest, it's great because I'm not having to spend any extra money to play games, and that's always a win-win situation, right? So yeah, it's good. Right, anyway, I've got another bit of news about Sony. This is probably something that Darren's interested in, to be honest.
Buckle up.
And he has mentioned this before as well, actually. So it looks like Sony are pissing off a lot of their Japanese customers. And apparently there's a term that these customers are using as well, which I thought was quite interesting. The term is called Sony check. Now, what this means is games. So since Sony have moved from Japan to California, they have become a lot more robust with their censorship of video games. And as we know, in Japan, they like their scantily clad women, etc., in their video games. I don't have a problem with it. It's their culture, whatever, that's fine.
Who are we to judge?
Who are we to judge? Anyway, so there's this term that the Japanese customers are now using. It's called Sony check, and basically what that means is that games are being checked by Sony above and beyond, your sensors, your rating systems, like your PEGI 15s and 18s or whatever the fuck it's called in America. Or
they're
whatever.
sort of trying to Disneyfy a bit.
Yeah,
like they're more worried about. See, and this all comes down to the fact now that everyone gets so outraged online over everything. They just don't. They will just want to try and avoid as much controversy as possible. But if you're just constantly shrinking away in fear of doing anything that might offend anyone, that's a recipe for disaster, because eventually you can't run forever.
No, and they're losing. And the funny thing is, right, Japan used to be Sony's biggest market, but obviously Sony want to expand worldwide because obviously the world is a bigger market than Japan. But Japan are their core audience, right? The core customer. Those are, what made them what they are today with the PlayStation brand. And what's happening is, but the reason why Japanese gamers are getting upset with this is because, they're doing this Sony check. So, excuse me, you get games that come out on PlayStation, Nintendo, say Xbox and PC or whatever. And what's happening is the game will be as it should be on all the platforms, but on the PlayStation platform, it's been massively censored. So, you get girls in bikinis or whatever.
You got exact examples.
I did
there
have
was one
on the
that
news.
A Mega Labyrinth was one that completely altered how it was on PlayStation to how it was on the Switch.
Like what?
Yeah.
Well, they just stripped out a lot of the weird sort of datey stuff in the game and just made it really. They actually called it Family Edition or something.
Okay.
And there was examples.
This is the U-rated version of a game that could be a 12 or a 15 in general.
Okay.
So what's happening is even 18 rated games that they are censoring. So for example, on one of the articles I read, I didn't actually save it in my Google Notes, which I should have done, where they had just a screenshot of the game on the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation. And on the Nintendo Switch had this girl just laying on the floor in a bikini, and on the PlayStation version they'd added loads of sun streaks,
that's a visual novel. I guarantee you that's a VN, a visual novel.
I don't know, but I just found it quite an interesting piece of news because it's not something that doesn't really affect us, because those aren't really most of those games don't really. I mean, I've never heard of, or they don't really come out in the West anyway. I don't think. I mean, I think
no, they don't.
Know a little bit.
I mean, a lot of also Twitch and the fact that people stream now is another issue that's coming with it, because it's like, right, yeah, you could get hold of a niche Japanese title that might be a bit, say, strange to some people or whatever are watching it, and you're streaming it on Twitch, and then people are like, what game's this? Oh, it's on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. So that also has a very slight influence on why they're putting, again, these sort of like checks in, and they don't want stuff coming back against their names and whatnot. But you can't not take risks. Like, that's where innovation's born, and like difference and stuff. Otherwise, everything just homogenizes into a samey thing. I mean, let's look at, say, the 360 PS3 generation and the type of games we had there, to what we ended up with getting this previous generation that's just ended. The games kind of became more samey. In a sense.
I agree.
You lost a lot of different sort of types of games, and other ones were just pushed back, and now they're either just relegated to mobile phones or like an indie title.
Or on Steam. I mean, there's no real censorship. Well, there is some censorship on Steam, but
I'll still see it on there as well.
But
a lot of it is due to backlash.
But what's interesting from this piece of news is that that I found interesting anyway, was that famously Nintendo have always been the ones to aim more towards the family-friendly kid games, being big on the censorship. But it seems like the tides have turned now, where Nintendo actually came out and said, look, there's a rating system for a reason, and we just go by whatever the rating system is in that country, and developers can put whatever they want out on our system as long as it meets those guidelines. So it seems to me that, like, if you're living in Japan, the only way to get your uncensored games is to buy them on the Switch, which I find really, really bizarre.
That's crazy. Yeah, it is bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Never mind. Anyway, I don't play games like that anyway, so it's all right. Lol.
Yeah, well.
But and so you just noticed the Czech thing starting to trend, or people talking about it, I take it.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen anything, to be honest with you.
I mean, I saw it. It came up on my Twitter feed, this YouTube video about it, and I just gave it a watch, and I thought it was quite an interesting piece. I was obviously come up because
I'd like to see more examples, though, guys. I'll have a look.
I can find them.
You also have the fact as well, like I've stated before, that there's less and less Japanese sort of developed games coming out on PlayStation nowadays compared to how it used to.
Yeah.
Like, more and more Japanese games are Switch bound now, which is why Switch is really popular not just around the world, but in Japan as well.
I think it's also the development costs for the Switch are a hell of a lot lower than they would be on a PS4 or PS5.
Yeah, but what you're finding now, Dan and Darren, as well, is it seems to me that a lot more of the Japanese games are coming to the Xbox platform now. You look, Microsoft are trying very hard to court the Japanese developers and publishers. You look at the deals that they've made with Sega in regards to getting all the Yakuza games onto Game Pass. Yeah, and then you've got them trying to court Square a little bit by putting all the
but it's always second fiddle, though. Let's be honest.
Yes, it is, because you look at like Final Fantasy 7 Remake. That's not come out on any other platform. It's been out for nearly a year, right? So
there was no news either at the concert the other day. There was nothing.
And there has been some rumblings I've seen. I think they're just rumours. I don't know how much truth there are to these rumours.
They all are rumours, I imagine.
There's rumours that Sony are looking to buy Square Enix out.
Wouldn't surprise me. It's their counter to the Bethesda purchase.
Yeah. Personally, hope that doesn't happen. But
console wars.
Yes.
It's always gone on, isn't it?
Yeah,
the random stuff. I mean, hell, if you go back to the NES Master System days or whatever, even back then, there was so many games that were only available for each platform. Like almost half the games that came out on those machines weren't multi-platform games. They were just made for that.
Yeah, I suppose we've been quite lucky in a way that most games are available on all platforms, but you know, back in the day, you're right, you had to own all the platforms to get all the games, whereas if you don't own a PlayStation, you're missing out on those few exclusives, and the same if you don't own an Xbox or whatever. So, yeah, strange times.
Oh well, never mind. Was that Gun Girl game? Oh, don't worry about that, mate.
Galgun, that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Dan, they did Devil May Cry 5. That's probably the biggest one they done. I think you picked up some bird in that who'd got sort of like not killed, but sort of like beaten up, and for some reason she was naked. I can't remember exactly why, but like they on the PlayStation 4 version, they done like some weird lens flare thing because you saw a little bit of butt cheek, but they took that out of the PlayStation
butt
version.
Cheek? No,
I mean, that's an 18 rated game, so theoretically they could show whatever they want, but the PlayStation said to do that and two things, and apparently they were behind like Jill's miniskirt in Resi 3 last year. Well, we don't need to talk about that anymore.
But then, like, you can always understand the fact that in one of Sony's own major first-party studio games, you literally raw dog a woman from behind.
What?
Yeah, I know what you're on about. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going down. We're going down.
No, I'm just saying that, like, and that wasn't censored.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So people do notice things like that.
We're kind of, I don't know. It's a weird one because if you were to compare this to the film like industry and ratings there, a lot of the time those in certain films are cut or edited just so that they can get the lower ratings to make them more profitable. And if you were to kind of extrapolate that thought process to the gaming industry, you could almost say, Sony are following suit with what movie companies are doing in order to.
But Dan, if there's still an 18 rated game, what's the point?
Well, this is the thing. It's
understand making a movie a 12A because then you can get the parents taking the kids as well. So theoretically, everyone can see it.
Yeah, I mean that's true to it, but at the same time, it's. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here because you all seem really upset about this.
I'm not at the moment, I'm just saying it's just one of those things, and people.
I'm just a bit indifferent about it. It's kind of like.
I think films are given more free reign. Like I think there's far more worse things in films than I've seen in actual games.
Oh, of course there is, but it's also to do with tone as well and cuts. I mean, for example, there was a time you couldn't show a headbutt anything higher than a 15 and above. But now you can get decapitations in 12As. So I don't know. It's also to do with context again at the end of the day. And what I think what Sony are quite worried about is with games in particular, there isn't any like gatekeeper a lot of the time to these titles. A lot of these things are digital downloads. They can be streamed on Twitch. They can be shown on YouTube live streams and so forth. And if a parent sees little Johnny's paying someone where someone's butt naked after being sexually assaulted, there is an issue with that happening. And Sony doesn't really want that coming back.
Should not be allowed to be streamed online. Then I mean,
well, that's the whole doing conversation, isn't it?
I think there are certain games you aren't allowed to stream on Twitch.
Gaming's always going to struggle this at the moment in the terms of accessibility and what the target market is. You're going to have a scenario where people will always consider video games, no matter what we say or we think, that are targeted towards children. Think about the children. And if these titles are, and it's very hard to control them, Sony are kind of jumping the gun and going, well, okay, we'll edit this out to act responsible. Nintendo have done it to a degree with their core products over the years.
Yeah, they did it back in the day a lot.
Yeah, it's just another evolution of that, and I think the mass market will look at these actions and thank Sony for doing this, because I know a lot of people with kids and. That they're very cautious. I get good friends of mine. They ask me, "Can my son play this?" And I look at. I go, how can I piss him off? I've been saying for about 3 or 4 years now he's not allowed to play Detroit Beyond Human. Now I've played it myself. I might say he can, but that gives an example. People are being cautious about what their kids can play because
that makes a change because most parents don't give a fuck.
Well, that's the thing. It's a balancing act. I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about this. But I get Sony's position, and from the things you've described, the games in particular, I'm like, and it doesn't really bother me. These are niche titles at the end of the day that appeal to certain key demographics, and no wonder they're outraged, because it's their game. They're not really, from the sound of it, mass market games, which is another thing.
Can we talk about the outrage of the censoring of Miranda's butt?
Well, this is a different context again.
We mentioned that last week.
Just like, what the fuck?
But if you read in the reason why they've done that, she's going on about some childhood trauma, and then you kind of like staring at her ass, and I think that's a little bit kind of.
Well, the thing is, right, when we originally played the game, no one said, "Oh yeah, I thought that scene was really bad."
I can't even remember this.
I don't.
Neither could I.
The world was a normal place back then. That's what you got.
I long for the good old days of common sense.
Everyone had a bit of common sense. Like, it was just like, well,
Well, I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, you probably don't remember it because you were looking at a butt.
Probably.
So, I don't know. I don't know.
But wasn't that just like you could press the buttons and change the camera angles? So if you didn't, you're just like. I think that's what it was. No. It's not that they were literally showing you her butt. You could because they were moaning about Skyrim, that you just sort of like staring at a dead wooden face all the time and stuff like that, and Oblivion. So they said, if you press like the bumper buttons, you can change camera angles, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, fair enough. They put that angle in, but
I don't know. I think a lot of people are huffing and puffing about nothing personally. But
well, I know I mentioned it last week, but I think the reason why people were huffing and puffing is because the developers came out on social media just slagging off their fan base, saying, "Well, if you want to look at butts, just go on Pornhub." I don't think that's a good way to talk to your customers. I haven't seen any of this. So I can't. Well, I saw it. I saw it on Twitter, and I was just like,
"Yeah, they did say that."
Fucking bellends. That's all I have to say. And I know you're listening, because you're fans, you fucking cunts.
They're not listening because they're not Patreons.
Well, up until the news, everyone listens up until after the news. So this is for everyone at the moment. So it's also okay.
Okay. You get a bumper edition of free shit this week.
Yeah, that's it. And as soon as we finish the news, that's where my lovely voice comes in saying, to listen to the rest of the show, subscribe to the Patreon. So, yeah. Okay, I have one more piece of news.
I'll go to Twitch. More news.
Yeah, I've got one more piece of news. I don't know if you guys remember this. This jogged my memory quite a lot. There was a game that was meant to come out and got cancelled called 6 Days in Fallujah. It's actually coming out again now. So the project was originally announced by Atomic Games and Konami back in 2009. Before it was dropped because of American outrage.
Yeah, because of controversy. So why release it now in the era of controversy?
Ray tracing.
It's silly.
Yeah,
so they're putting some lipstick on it and wheeling it out like a dead pig, mate.
So there is a trailer. I've not actually watched the trailer yet. I need to watch it. I just haven't had time today. I've been very busy playing Valheim, but apparently it was dropped because of American outrage. I mean, I don't really know a lot about this Battle of Fallujah. Apparently lots of people died, etc., etc. But yeah, it's coming out. There's no set release date yet, but I just thought it was quite interesting that a cancelled project because of outrage is now coming out. Perhaps they think enough time has passed. I don't know.
Maybe it was almost ready to release. That's the thing. You got this thing sitting on the shelf. All they've got to do is
the graphics are gonna suck, aren't they?
Well, they're gonna be hybrid.
I'm just sticking the trailer on just to have a look now, see what it looks like. It would be funny if they faked a game getting cancelled just so they could completely work on it for years.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
Oh well.
I mean, this was hot off the heels, kind of Spec Ops: The Line, wasn't it? It wasn't long after that.
Bloody hell! Have to go back.
I think it was.
You have to go back into the annals of history for that one. We probably talked about it back in the day.
Stays in Fallujah. Oh yeah, there's a trailer on IGN of all places as well. Cool. Oh come on, then put all this boring bollocks up first.
Nice dead air.
Yeah.
Playboy Peeps. Hello, Playboy Peeps. He's
here.
Also, I've actually got some real world footage in this trailer. It's looking a bit fucked up at the moment. People getting put in boots of cars and people shooting.
It's all the Iraq stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. People getting beaten up in the streets and people driving down the road. Well, where's the actual gameplay then?
I will get 2 seconds of it at the end or something.
This is all video footage away from the Iraqi war.
Yeah, I want to actually see some gameplay. Oh, there we go. Is this a game? Oh, stop talking, you fucker. I just want to see gameplay. Oh, yeah, this looks quite good, actually. Graphic-wise. I'm getting this. Day one, man. Just for the controversy. It's made me want the game even more. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until Sony get their grubby hands on it.
Yeah, they probably just won't release it on the PlayStation because, you know, they just fucking censor everything now, don't they?
Oh, no, it's fine. You can shoot people in the face. It's fine.
You just can't look at any boobies.
And they can't be naked while you do it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cool. Right, that's all my news. Anyone else got any news? No. 40 minutes of news. Boom.
I just got a quick one. Was today that Sony are getting a US firm done a class action lawsuit against them for stick drift on the DualShock 5s.
Oh, okay.
Just today.
The vultures are circling.
Fucking hell, Sony's getting all the bad press, aren't they?
Well, I have to take that with a pinch of salt, that one. That's probably someone seeing they can pull off a Nintendo. They probably
that's a fairly big firm because apparently there's a defect in it that they knew before release and just didn't give a shit.
Well, is this the only example we've had of the drift on the joypad? Is it you know, I don't know. Let's wait and see where that goes. I don't take that with a...
So just talking about that sort of stuff, there's a company in Canada who are making the plates for the PS5, black ones, so it actually matches the rest of the console. And apparently on the top of their website it says, "Try and sue us, Sony, we dare you."
Oh, yeah, that's called D brand.
Yes. I was pissing myself when I read that. Because there was another company that was going to do them, and then Sony shut them down. But this other company is based in Canada, and they're just like, "Oh, fuck you, we're going to do it." So they've been selling them. So good times.
But you still got a white controller, so you got to wait for the black one of them to really.
Yeah, I'm sure you can buy a skin.
I'll just paint it, mate, with some, you know, done.
That'd be a heathen.
I'll have to buy a new controller in 3 months anyway because all the sticks are drifting.
They can't be as bad as the Joy-Cons on the Switch, though, surely. They're fucking...
Oh, no one can buy any, then them for sale.
Well, my Joy-Cons don't even work if they're not plugged into the actual bloody Switch. They're fucked. So, I'm not happy with that. But there we go.
Okay.
Right. News is over.
News is over. Get out, freeloaders.
Right. Yeah, right. This is the time for the patrons to hear about what we've been playing. So, who's first? Cinnamon Dan, go.
Animal Crossing. Yes, Woo. This is what you pay your big bucks for. No, I'm just mentioning it in passing this week, mainly because today was the festival event where a giant rainbow peacock descended on the village and demanded that I give him loads of feathers for various items. So I've been doing that all day, which has been fun. The ultimate item I got from him was a giant peacock-shaped float. I think it's gold. I've got to find a place to put it on my island now, but it is absolutely massive. But yeah, that's fun, I suppose. Islanders come and go. I've got Marshall's turned up on my islands. He's quite a popular islander. He appeared out of nowhere, and I've got a new one moving in the next couple of days or so. So all fun, all good. And there's rumour that there's Mario-themed items in the update next month in March.
Ooh,
so it might be worthwhile because you're going to have some Mushroom Kingdom stuff going on. So just because at the moment I've created a little kind of festival environment, and I made it on the beach a little kind of tower, more like a Love Island scenario with a couple of film cameras and a light. So if Pete ever comes to visit, he'd be well up in his element. So yeah, I've done that. Other than that, a lot more Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I have more than finished the game, completed it. So I've literally completed every single level of the adventure mode. So now it's just trying to get better at the game, but I've kind of put about 25, 30 hours into it just to get that far. I'm still shit, but I finished the game. So that's one game completed. The main game, really, before I go on to those of the dregs, was the release of Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, which came out on Friday.
So what's the difference then? Is this just an add-on to...
It's two games.
Okay.
So you've got the original Mario 3D World, which came out on the Wii U about 7 years ago, I believe it was.
Great game. Completed it.
Yeah.
It's good. I haven't played it too much, that side of the package, but the additions are the 4-player mode, both local and online. I'm not sure whether it's just people in your friends list you can get to play the courses with you, or whether or not you can go and play with randoms. If you play with randoms, I can already see that being some super trolling going on there. But we'll have to see. I'll have to really experiment that. But the one that really drew me was the Bowser's Fury side, which is a brand new game, and it's the first time Mario's gone open world, so to speak. So the idea with this is that it's a whole island system you can hop along and go to, and each island's got its own kind of world, and much like most 3D Marios, where you've got tasks to get shines from, or catch shines as they've called in this. You do little tasks or whatnot, and there's like 5 shines to get per island, and you build it all up. And the key difference for this is that in the centre of the island, you've got Bowser, who's obviously taken way too much PCP, and he's grown to the size of Godzilla, and he's quite angry, and he kind of rises up and goes on the rampage before he kind of subsides again for a period of time to rise up again. So, and with that, you get all sorts of platforming opportunities, like the environments change, and you have to dodge giant Bowser's fireballs. If you get enough shines, you get the opportunity to get hold of a giant bell, and you turn into a giant cat-like Godzilla Mario, and then you go and beat the shit out of Bowser, and you repeat that until you get 50 shines, do the boss level, and you complete it, which I have done. And then it opens up to collect another 50 in various different new challenges that come up. There's extra bonuses, there's new shines that appear, and so forth. So there's lots to get stuck into on that side, but I kind of rinsed it, I reckon, in about 5 hours.
It looks good, man. I mean, is this the first time that 3D World's come out on the Switch?
Yeah, it has.
Okay. I remember playing this on the Wii U with the missus and really enjoyed it.
It was on the Wii U. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I think there's not much else other than what I've said on the main game, other than a 4-player mode. So it's going to be more, good for families, couch co-op, as well as online stuff as well. But yeah, I was more interested in the Bowser's Fury, which is pretty decent actually.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm having some fun. I mean, I'm going to go back. I'm going to spend more time in Bowser's Fury, I think, just to play some of the extra challenges that I've unlocked, just to see what's going on. But I did a few of those last night before we got too late. But yeah, it's good, man.
It does look really, really good.
Yeah, it's 50 quid for more Mario. I mean, there's all sorts now. I mean, is it better than Odyssey? I don't know. Odyssey's fine. It's kind of forgettable. And the Mario 3D collection, which I bought, when it first came out, I've hardly touched it.
Yeah, I've touched it myself.
I'm kind of gutted in myself because it's almost too much too soon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping with Bowser's Fury and this, I get the urge to go back and play some more, just so that I can really get stuck into. I think Galaxy is the one I'm gonna probably go to. I played some of Mario Sunshine, and it wasn't as connecting with me as some of the other stuff. It's not as sharp as some of the other Marios I've played. But yeah, it's Mario and it's good.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Strokey in the Twitch chat said that he saw it in Curry's for 35 quid.
Wow. Get on it, man.
Yeah,
get on that. And I paid 50 and I got a free steelbook with it. Lol.
Ooh.
Steelbook.
So was that additional or just like
it's additional? It's additional.
Dan, question. Can I have your steelbook? Because I opened the door over mine and bent it in half.
You can just send me your address. I'll put it in the post.
I don't care. I just throw it in the bin. Because what are you supposed to do? I've got a case and a steelbook. So am I supposed to throw the normal case in the bin?
Stick on eBay, mate.
It's just extra junk, mate, to be in your house.
People love junk.
I know.
I got tons of it.
Junk.
It's all good. So yeah, that's that. You play it as well, Nick?
I bent it in half and I sent it back. So I snapped the case in half as well.
Oh, you haven't played the game, so you had the game, but you broke it.
So you broke the actual cartridge?
I snapped it in half. The steelbook bent, and I just snapped all the case and everything in half. So they said send it back.
Oh, okay.
And they'll send me another one. And I said, well, shall I keep the cartridge? And they said no.
Oh.
So
they just obviously want to replace the whole order.
Yeah.
Or they'll probably forget and then send me a whole new thing and end up with 2 copies of the game.
Gotcha. Well, you're in for a treat when you finally do get hold of it. Okay.
Cool.
Awesome, other stuff. Did you talk about Panzer Dragoon Remake last week?
No, I didn't, because I played it for literally about 5 minutes, and that was
it. I played it for about half an hour.
Okay, what's your thoughts?
It's not very well made.
No, I concur.
Is the original weird controller, like the crazy controller setup, or is that a different game? So there's
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean, because you press buttons to look forward, back, and side to side, and that kind of flicks your options for shooting, and it's very much like drag and shoot, and I get the visuals and all that, but the loading times, but I'm not really a snob for loading times, but these are fucking awful. I just think
the game is a bit wonky, and that's why I played for that amount of time. And Dan, because I briefly played it on my Saturn last year, and it's slightly different, because on the Saturn there's the beginning section is you're like dropped off and you're on foot and you're walking and you find the dragon and then you go and fly the bloody thing, and this is just like you're straight on the dragon. You know?
Oh, I had the opening sequence, all that, and you must have pressed the button to skip that.
Oh, I must have done then. Did you walk towards it and all that bullshit?
I didn't walk towards it, but there was a cutscene that made me walk towards it. I don't know. It's all right. It's fine. I mean, we only paid $5 for it, but they were asking excess of £20 for it, full price, and I think I've managed to get to World 3 without losing, without having to. Well, it's just a bit.
It's janky, just a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, but it plays okay. It plays all right-ish. No, it's janky.
Yeah,
it's not judgery. It just feels a bit shit, and it's fucking.
I just don't like the aiming and the shooting. It's just that's the whole point of the game. It feels weird.
As far as I'm concerned, that was what Panzer Dragoon was always about. I don't know. I might go back to it. It is quite a hefty file size, but yeah, a bit disappointing, that one. Other stuff, I did pick up a copy of Team Sonic Racing on the PS4.
Oh.
I was bored.
Is it better than Mario Kart?
Fucking is it not? No. It's nowhere near. It's nowhere near, but it's all right. It does a few interesting things. Like there's you can race in a team of 3, and I did some online as well. There's some people actually playing it online. So it's fine. It's not awful. It's all right.
It looks good.
That's all I've got to say about it, really.
Nice.
Yeah. It's all right. It's fine. The problem with it, I suppose, to a degree, is because it's multi-platform. The audience for it is kind of split over multiple consoles. I think with any kind of game like this, the single-player mode is redundant. It is. Although there is a story mode on it, but how can you have a story mode in a fucking kart race? I don't get it. Not everything needs a fucking story. Stop it. But yeah, it's got all of the Sonic's past and present characters on it. Much else to add, really. And then there was a retro sale on the PS4. Loads of retro titles, so I spent a small fortune on stuff. And without going into too much detail, I did pick up a copy of Fatal Fury Battle Archives 2, Samurai Showdown 6, King of Fighters collection, the Okari Saga? Okari Saga?
Oh, Orochi Saga.
Orochi Saga, thank you.
Is this on PlayStation, you say, yeah?
On PlayStation, yeah, because I had a little mini fight stick, so I've been playing those quite a bit. So I've been enjoying that. Some SNK. These are the titles you can't get on the Switch, and these are like compilations. And like Samurai Showdown 6 only came out on PS2 anyway, so now I've got that, so that's good. I was quite happy. They only cost about a couple of quid each, so I was quite pleased. And the piece de resistance out the whole lot is that I picked up a copy of Parappa the Rapper 2 for £3.99.
Woo!
And
how many times have you purchased this game?
Twice. Okay. First time was back in the day on PS2. It goes for a pretty sum, that does now. So I bought it and I spent the whole evening playing it and unlocking all the trophies and rinsing it, and I had an absolute joy. £4 well spent. I was grinning ear to ear. In fact, I have to say some of the tracks in this game are better than the originals.
Has it been remastered at all?
It's got trophy support. Trophy support. To be honest with you, it's the kind of game where I don't think needs remastering because it still looks sharp. It's still got a very unique graphic style, which I don't think you can improve upon. I mean, if you were to make that 4K, I think you're kind of wasting your time. You're missing the point. But yeah,
did the original Parappa the Rapper in 4K on PS4?
Oh well, it was being remastered, and I think the remaster means that it's more like full screen now, as opposed to you've got the 4:3 ratio, which is on this, but.
Old school.
And the saving system is old school in the sense that it's very reminiscent of the old memory card situation, which is a little bit kind of janky, but it's kind of charming at the same time. But yeah, as I said, it's a game where noodles are taking over your town, and as Parappa, you've got to save your town from the noodleless infestation, so everyone can eat other food now, and that was basically the plot. And you rap and freestyle your way through it, and I was grinning ear to ear. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, and there's some other stuff as well which I haven't quite touched upon or played yet, but I'll save that for another time. But yeah,
cool,
it's all good, man. Yeah,
awesome.
Colin,
I
think so.
Yeah, got a couple things to talk about. Since the last time I've been on, which was a month or two ago, apologies. I've acquired 4 new consoles. The first one to maybe talk about is the Oculus Quest 2 really quickly. We got an Oculus. It was kind of on a lark, and the kids were like, "Dad, we really want one," and they were willing to put up some of their own money towards it. And so we took the plunge. We bought an Oculus Quest 2. I have played Beat Saber on it, and that was fun. My kids have and I've spent maybe a total of 10-15 minutes, with the thing on my head playing. But the kids are really, really enjoying it. They're playing Rec Room, which is a game where you can recruit slave armies of real people to do your bidding and imprison them when they don't listen to you. All sorts of weird shit going on there. Five Nights at Freddy's, The Climb, a bunch of other games. The missus has also been enjoying Beat Saber, so I do aim to spend more time with it and levy a more fulsome judgment on it. But it seems like a pretty nifty piece of kit, in that you can carve out. It's got cameras on the outside, and you can establish the boundaries of the area that you're in, and it'll warn you, when you're about to fall down the stairs or things like that, and you're on home. But I haven't felt super compelled to play it just yet, and maybe other people who have had experience with it can recommend some things for me to do with it or to play with it to have a better time. But Beat Saber's kind of cool, and I don't know. Anybody have any questions about the Quest 2 or the Oculus or whatever it's called?
I saw a video that you broke it.
I didn't break it. I didn't have the wrist straps. I was slaying the cubes that fly at you in Beat Saber. And the wrist straps are there for a reason. I swung too hard, wasn't holding onto it tightly, and it went against the wall. And the cover of the batteries.
The sound by your boys was kind of like, oh.
because at that point, the thing it had been out of the box for about 10 minutes at that point, and so some concern that the brand new shiny had been broken, but fear not, it is not broken.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like, so I've got the original Oculus, thanks to Wes, but I think I'm one of those people that just doesn't fare very well in VR because I just get
motion
very
sickness.
badly motion sick. I mean, Beat Saber is one of the games that I'm fine with, but pretty much everything else I feel sick. I can't play, which is really, really annoying. So I've actually given it to my stepson now because I just don't use it. So
I'm just checking in the chat. RoboPig says I need to try Vader Immortal, so maybe I'll talk to my kids about that. It sounds like a nice lightsaber.
But this Oculus Quest though, Colin, it's become quite popular because it's got quite a good price point. It's $300.
Yep, $400. Yeah, it doesn't break the bank.
I've got quite a few people who've bought it and are using it with their PCs because you can get a cable to use it with your computer as well. But the only thing that would put me off is that you have to have a Facebook account. Like you have to sign in with your Facebook account to use it.
I don't think you do.
You do. That's what I've been reading.
No, it's after a certain cut-off point, I believe.
Yeah.
My son is the one who activated it, and I don't think maybe he does. I don't know. You create an email. It's an account with your email address, I believe.
No, so with the Oculus devices, there's going to be a point where you have to have a Facebook account to use it.
Okay,
that's a big thing. There was a big account. There's a big story about that online a little while ago. 100%.
Okay. All right, we'll have to see. And again, it's mostly the kids that are spending time with it, so I don't really. I'm not too bothered.
I mean, I know, like Carl, Five Large Fries, he's got the Steam headset, and that's meant to have the highest refresh rate. And apparently, one of the things that makes you feel motion sick is the cheaper units with the lower refresh rates, or the older ones. So I'm just wondering, for me, if the reason I'm feeling motion sick is because the original Oculus has a lower refresh rate than obviously the newer ones. I don't know, but I wouldn't want to drop money on one knowing that I can't, I feel sick on that, so I'd have to try a newer one somehow.
Yeah, definitely try it out for a period of time from a friend or something like that before you make.
But because the thing, I don't know about you, Colin, but I find it's really immersive.
Yes, it is.
It's really, really cool. But I think I think there's apart from the motion sickness for me, the other thing that I find as well is I don't think the screen, like the lens, it's not clear enough. It still has that kind of, the games have that blurriness to them. Yeah. So it's not like,
I don't know. When I put it on, this is cool. So it's high fidelity. Again, I don't know what the standard is for the graphics, but I felt immersed. And again, all I was in a long hallway with different colored cubes flying at me to music. And that was good enough for me.
Yeah.
But I'll spend some more time with it and report back.
Because I tried there was like one for cinema, like a virtual cinema. I played like
you can watch Netflix on it and stuff like that.
Like driving, like Euro Truck Sim and various other games like that. And I just felt like I thought I'd be okay with those games, but I just wasn't. I mean, I just felt ill within like a couple of minutes. I had to take it off. I was getting like hot flushes, feeling like I was going to puke. It's just really, really annoying. I'm just, it's a shame. But I think they're cool pieces of kit. I really do.
Yep.
Apart from that issue, for me personally.
Cool. I'll keep it moving. Look, I was able to acquire 3 Xbox Series X's, and I know that sounds a little bit extreme.
Scalper!
No. I have 2 sons, and we knew all along the harmony on our home is preserved by the fact that each kid has their own console. They're not fighting. I fought with my brother tooth and nail over it's my turn on the Super Nintendo. No, it's my turn on the that all that crap. And we don't have that fighting in our house, so that's nice. And it was just shout out to the Cheap Ass Gamer Twitter feed. I go to bed early and I wake up early because of how my work hours. And so Saturday morning I was awake at 5:30 a.m. just checking my phone, and I saw Target has Xbox Series X's in stock, and so I immediately went on, secured one on my phone, and then saw, okay, they're limiting it to one purchase. So then I brought out my laptop, created a Target account with a different email address and a different credit card, and got a second one. And by the time I tried my iPad, I think my IP address came into it, getting the third one, but they wouldn't let me get a third one. But then luckily 2 days later, Microsoft had them back in stock as well, and was able to go on to Microsoft's website. And so that week, it was kind of cool. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days in a row, we had consoles show up.
That's awesome.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, in mid to late January. And here's what I want to say about the Series X. I've paired it up with I had recently upgraded my TV to a 120 hertz 4K super high def TV. It looks really, really good. Just noticing the difference playing two games in particular, Call of Duty Warzone and Cyberpunk. They both, Cyberpunk is worlds better. Looking at that experience, Warzone slightly better, and the load times are fantastic. And so I really like how it looks. It's not a perfect device though. I'm having a couple quibbles with it. Are the control when I don't know how you guys use your with batteries, but I rotate 4 rechargeable AA batteries through my controllers. When I run out of batteries, I pull out the 2, I plug them into the wall, and I pull the other 2 that have been charging and plug them right into my controller. Well, what I'm noticing is every time my controller loses battery, it won't repair the controller right away. Like I have to hard reset the controller, the console, to get it to repair with my controller, and it's doing my tits in. I've tried everything from plugging in the USB-C cord into the console and into the controller to get it to physically be hot wired into the console. It doesn't do it. It doesn't work. The only remedy is hard reset not even just pushing the power button. I have to unplug the console from the wall and then repair the controller. It's really, really
Colin,
frustrating.
Did you have to go into the settings and assign that controller to whoever's Xbox Live account? 'Cause I think you have to do that.
Really? Okay, I'll play around in the settings, but I've never heard
There's
of that.
probably something basic and
as if you're going to have multiple controllers per
Mm-hmm.
console. You can set each controller up to each account so they know who it is. So if you haven't assigned, I mean, that's just mine on my own because I'm a Billy No Mates. But I mean, if you've got your family with you, if you've got different controllers, maybe
I'm
that's
the only
why.
one using my console. But yeah, I'll play around in the settings and see if I can figure that out a little bit better. Was that a feature also on the Xbox One?
Yes.
Then I don't know what's going on because I never set that up on the Xbox One itself. Again, this is supposed to be just a 1.1 upgrade, or when you consider the 1S and the 1X, this is a 1.3 upgrade from the Xbox One. I don't know why it's acting so weird. The other thing is, it will just lose connection. Like the button will start flickering. I'll be mid-game, and the controller will stop working, and count to 5, and then you push the button again, and it repairs.
That's weird.
So my controller rigs out.
Like a weird issue, yeah.
Have you tried a different controller?
Having the same issues.
Oh, are
yes,
they?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My kids are having the same issues, and some of my friends in the U.S. who I play with regularly are having the same issues. So I think there are some hardware issues.
Do you update the controller as well?
Yep. They've all been fully updated. But after talking to you guys, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, maybe I will spend some time in the settings and try to figure this out. But seriously, I'll be mid-game, and it'll just die. The controller will die. And it not from batteries. It'll just lose its pairing or lose its connection, and then I'll push the power button on the controller again, and it'll pair up, and I can pick right back up where I left off. So, give me a shout, people, if you've been experiencing the same thing. But I've just noticed that there's some inconsistency with the way this thing functions, and it kind of ticks me off.
That's fair.
The only thing I really suffer from is the fact that you can turn your console on with your controller. Yeah. But mine only does it about sort of 70 or 80% of the time. Really? Sometimes I actually have to get up and turn the system on manually. Yeah,
and I had that one with the Xbox One X as well.
Or the Xbox One. The thing that I had with the last One X.
I'd push the button well. and I'd have to get up. It'd be like, this is that one time in 5 where it demands that you get up out of your seat and actually push the button on the console.
Making you get up, how dare it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So let me just talk about the games. So Cyberpunk, I'm back into it and really enjoying it. Again, massive improvement. It's still glitchy as hell. Pan Am riding her motorcycle through thin air while the actual motorbike that she's supposed to be riding is 30 feet in front of her over the desert landscape. She's just straddling midair riding. I've had situations where if you do a Johnny Silverhand mission and there's this like metal guitar riff going and then I finish the mission, I walk out onto the street and the system doesn't know that it's supposed to turn off that guitar riff. It feels like I'm in the middle of a battle, but I'm just walking down the street, mission over, and then have to exit out of the game and restart it to make that go away. So I hope I still hope the devs are spending time sorting out this game and patching it and fixing
they are
the bugs.
I believe.
I'd like to do one. This game does feel like one that would be worthy of 2 playthroughs. I'm doing Street Kid and I'll do Corpo because I hear that's a good one to play as. But I'll get this finished up. I got the sense that I'm about 24 hours into it, so I get the sense that I'm maybe at the halfway point or somewhere there. And I'll finish it and then come back to it in a year, hopefully when they've patched everything. But it's good again. I'm really enjoying it in spite of the glitches. It looks the way it's supposed to look now, and so I don't have complaints about graininess or just awful graphics on the older console. How's everybody else getting on with Cyberpunk?
It's on the shelf.
I finished it ages ago, mate. I don't even think about it anymore.
I know.
I played a bit of it.
No, I did. I can't. Yeah, I kind of lost interest, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the title screen and played a little bit after that, and then I kind of lost momentum. But I'm kind of thinking we'll play it next gen at some point. But I might get back into it. But
okay,
I've got other shiny things to play at the moment.
And then obviously been playing a lot of Warzone. Still loving it. Rebirth Trios in particular. It's a much better experience, in my opinion, playing on the smaller Alcatraz map with a fewer number of players because the games are quicker and you win them more frequently, and it's a little bit more action-packed. Whereas on the Verdansk map, 150 players, it's not action-packed, and you can go 5 or 10 minutes without seeing anyone, and then you have one encounter and you die, and you're pissed off that you'd wasted those 10 minutes. When you're playing on the smaller Alcatraz map, it's the flow of action is a lot more steady. And when you die, okay, you can get right back in and not feel like you've wasted a bunch of time investing to only lose after one encounter. And we'll still have games where I get 8 or 10 or 12 kills and it's action packed and it just feels like you're firing on all cylinders. Good comms with teammates, and it's exactly what I look for in multiplayer shooter stuff. So. Peebs, if you haven't heard, Peebs and I usually every Saturday afternoon UK time, Saturday morning US time, we have a tradition going where we do Warzone anthems and ales, where we'll play some Warzone. Peebs will drink craft ale, and he'll have BBC Radio 1's dance anthems on in the background, and it's an epic time. So give us a shout if you'd like to squad up and play some Warzone. Dan, get on it with us. Nikki, get on it with us. Oh, here comes Sideshow Bob again. Yeah. So last game, and this I'm going to sound like a proper nerd here. I've been playing chess on my mobile phone with. Can you believe that? So we watched the Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think it's good. It's highly rated, and it's about this brainiac girl who's an orphan in the U.S. who, in the orphanage that she's in, one of the janitors teaches her how to play chess, and she ends up becoming like a world champion and beats a bunch of Russian people, and kind of rises to fame in the 60s and 70s in the U.S. Becoming a world chess grandmaster or something like that. And she's got some, like most of these kind of brainiac savants, have their, she's got personality flaws and mental health issues that, the show walks you through. But it's a cool show, and it got us interested in chess as a family a little bit more. And my kid is again, he's not in a nerdy group of friends, but there's this mobile app, chess.com, on your mobile phone. And he's like, Dad, play chess against me. We played a game. He kicked my ass the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, my son just beat me in chess. This is not happening. So I have since won 6 games in a row against him, and I'm pleased to report that I'm since undefeated. But it's kind of fun. Getting into it, it's similar to Words with Friends or Heroes Academy. You just take you play it whenever you want. There's no rush. You take your turn when you can, and goes into the court of the of your opponent to play when they can. So I'm Kaliwali 11, no spaces, all lowercase on
Cool.
on the chess.com app if you want to shoot me a challenge.
Chess is such a classic that people used to play it through the post back in the day with people. They'd have a board permanently set up and they'd just post their moves to each other back and forth.
Yep.
Is that and again, iOS only, is it?
Let me have a look. I wouldn't think so, but it may be. Just go to your app store. It's chess.com is the name of the app. And then create an account, and then I'm Kaliwali11.
Cool.
That's it. That's me done.
Awesome.
Yep.
Nikki.
Yeah, I played a few games since this year, but one I'm going to start with. I couldn't play because basically Capcom are arseholes and lie, which is Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh.
I was going to play that co-op online because it says on the box players 1 and 2, co-op 2, big sign that says online, and it's not online. It's only couch co-op. Because there's basically a silly little a raid mode which is online co-op. The story isn't, which is weird because Resi 5 back in 2008 or 9 or something like that, which was online co-op. Resi 6 online co-op. Now this one they've took it away, which made it actually worse because I've got it on Xbox. I bought it again on PS4 because the bloke I wanted to play with only had it on PS4. And it says on the Capcom, so I didn't bother playing that. And obviously I can't get money back on PlayStation because they are horrible. So so I tried for that. And then what else have I been playing? Shenmue 2. I've been playing that again, trying to get the old platinum trophy thingy on PlayStation. So I got that. Which wasn't too bad. The problem is I played that through once already, but I think I missed about 4 trophies, and one of them was about half an hour before the end of the game. I couldn't. No. So I had to basically start the whole game again, but that's all right. That's all right. I love those games. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I suppose the biggest one I played this year, because I've done a poll on my Twitch channel, what to play, RPG, which was an old game, Final Fantasy VI.
Cool.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, have you ever? You still haven't finished that yet.
That's the only one I've played that I've never finished. Yeah.
I mean, really... I now get why people say this needs a remake more than 7 because I think it might be a little bit better than 7.
It's got a really shit remake on PC.
Well, no,
it's the mobile port, isn't it?
It's the mobile port, but then I played the PS1 version because, that's the one I've got. And I thought, and I looked at that and I thought, well, that's got FMV cutscenes in it as well, so I'll play that one because it turns out, no, it hasn't. It's just got one FMV cutscene at the start of the game at the title screen.
Yes.
Not only that, the load times in this game are atrocious.
Really?
Yeah, in between, battles and stuff. Yeah, it's you finish the battle, it's it's crashed. The game's crashed. Oh no, there it is.
I pumped about 20 hours into this on my Vita, and I didn't have any issues with the load times. And it looks nice on the Vita because it's the original. Well, it's the PS1 version of the SNES version. It looks really, really nice. But
that's one is the same as that. But so I mean, you've got a SNES Mini Classic, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've got it on Steam as well, and I'll just.
But because that's actually Final Fantasy. That was called Final Fantasy 3 when it came out in America and the West and all that. But if you actually play that, that's and you see that playing, and you watch the PS1 version, that's just so much faster. The load times, press A, and like you're like, oh yeah, they do the little da 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 da, and you're like, oh, there we go, back into the thing. Whereas this one, that's just like the screen just starts melting really slowly.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't, if you've never seen the original, you wouldn't notice or mind. But once you've seen it, you're like, yeah, I should have played the older version.
Yeah, apparently this one has the best story of all the games, but I just never got round to finishing it.
It is, and it isn't. The problem is, which I've always said with Final Fantasy games, especially 7 and things like that, the simpler story, the better. If you just get overly complicated, people just don't pay no attention and their mind wanders, and you think, like with Final Fantasy 13 and 12, it's like, I haven't got a clue what's going on, to be honest. Some big bird with big tits and giant bunny ears. No idea why she's with me, but that's Final Fantasy 12. But I mean, that's a really good game. I mean, there's one bit in it which is a bit annoying. I mean, that's a 25-year-old spoiler where one of the characters, Shadow, will die off screen, I think.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can... I say there's nothing you can do about it. It gives you the thing where in normal games, you've got 5 minutes to get to the airship before we all die. I got to the airship, just ran like a lunatic, got there with about a minute or 2 minutes to spare, got on the airship, no problem. But what you're actually supposed to do is just wait, like, on the final little bit till the timer almost runs out and the guy just turns up. And I'm like, oh, well, how was I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
And all the people in my Twitch chat were telling me, wait. And I was like, what? What am I waiting for? What? Oh, never mind. He's dead. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good game. You should definitely finish that, Webby. I think you'd like that.
Oh, well, it's on my list. I've got a long list at the minute, so...
No, your list just keeps getting bigger every day.
I know.
And also, even more retro goodness, I've hooked up my Dreamcast again.
Nice. Ooh. Still holds up quite well to this day, I think.
Well, it does at the moment, because I bought a HDMI cable for it from what website is it? Ico, so it's Kaico cables. I mean, they are on Amazon for like 35 quid. If you go direct to their website, they're 27 with free postage as well.
Oh, that's good.
Oh. Better to go there, but it goes into the different port on the back of the Dreamcast. It actually converts the VGA HDMI.
Yeah.
If you're going to use I mean, it looks absolutely lovely just on a normal HD TV. 4K, a little bit more blurry, obviously, because it's just running a 480 signal compared to the standard 360 or 320 or whatever that is. I mean, that's quite nice. The only problem is there's a few games that it doesn't support.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because if you look on the back of Dreamcast games, well, I've got one here with me, it actually says on the back, it'll say VGA compatible.
Okay.
There's a few games like Code Veronica, that's not compatible, a few others. But then another one, which is a game I really love and want to stream, is Evolution. It's like, a JRPG. It's a really good game. That does say VGA compatible on the box. It's not. They just these game companies, they just print stuff on the back. It's just a lie most of the time. Yeah, I mean, I streamed that for about 3-4 hours yesterday. So I went through all the classics, I go through Crazy Taxi. It's really good. Space Channel 5. I mean, that's a weird game.
That's awesome, though.
I don't. I mean, it's supposed to be 3, but she's just dancing around in latex, showing her knickers off. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Cool.
Until the censors come for it.
Yeah, they'll.
Oh, good thing it's not on PlayStation.
I have a HD remake for VR, so you might have to get on that, Colin. You might enjoy that. It's actually really hard, because it's not like Parappa the Rapper where you see buttons to press. Like the aliens actually just say it to you.
Shoot.
Yeah, but I could get the shoot
up,
part.
Left,
that's easy.
Right, down, shoot.
But not only have you, pretty much. But it starts off like that. And all of a sudden they go right, down, left, right, up, down, right, shoot. And you think, what? What are you on about, mate?
Skills, mate. You need the skills.
Oh, yeah, but you have to get the tempo right. You can't just press the buttons in order. I'm just sitting there and she's walking around. She starts the game so happy and dancing. I can't get off the first level and she just walks around like she's crying. Some other turn up in like purple spandex and she beat me up. I thought, oh, I need this. That's, I mean, I've got quite bad hearing, so I'm going to use that as an excuse. That's why I can't do it. Well, bad hearing.
Okay.
And I have no rhythm at all. That doesn't help. Yeah, and then the last one I streamed on that was Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2.
Oh, wicked.
Classic.
Which was hilarious because had Shaquille O'Neal turned up in it. I thought, oh, what's he doing in this game? Then Michael Jackson turned up in it. I was like, oh, what's Michael Jackson doing in this game?
Getting the shit beat out of him.
Pretty much, so I had to put him on his ass. I thought, sorry, mate. I mean, you're already dead, so you probably don't mind. He was giving it all that. And then everyone was like doing like Bose Selector stuff in the chat, and they want me to go on YouTube and watch Bose Selector. Yeah, that was good. And then like I got right up to the end boss, as you say, which is the announcer who does like all for the big fight. Is it Michael Buffer?
Michael Buffer, yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
He gets in and he says, your next opponent needs no introduction because he's me. And then he just turns all Super Saiyan, like eats some steroids and turns into an absolute giant. Then he can because the whole point of that game is when you do combos, you get rumble in the bottom corner. Like your power bar, pretty much like all standard fighting games. And once you get, it says rumble in different colours, you could do like combos. Well, he just gets the platinum rumble in one hit, in one button press, and then he just knocks you flying out the ring whenever he feels like it. That was fun. So I got right to the end and I couldn't beat him. But that was a laugh. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's just, obviously I haven't got none of the new consoles and there's not really any new games out at many of those consoles anyway. So it's nice just to go back and see some of these old games because a lot of them, they're not getting archived anywhere and stuff like that, are they? So it's nice to go back and like obviously on my Twitch stream, people come in and I put a poll up, say, oh, I got all these games, would you want it? And they pick the game. So that's just gives us a little bit of fun.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
What's you're going to pimp out your Twitch stream?
Yeah, it's just Nick Fights on Twitch.
There you go.
But go to me and give me all your subs. Don't give them to Webby because he's got all the Patreon money.
What else have you been playing, Nicky?
That's it.
That's it. Oh, on to Darren then. Wow, ripping through our games played this week.
I'm not going to take too long because I think I've only really played about 2 games, and one Colin was talking about earlier, Cyberpunk. Put a few hours into that. Not really much else to say. Still plodding along with it, and the same thing with Valhalla, really.
Well, I still can't believe you're not completed
did another
that yet.
About 20 or 30 hours on Valhalla, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, there was a little bit of news. There was rumour to be a big update coming for Valhalla that I heard about the other day, and then they confirmed it today on Twitter.
Ooh.
There's going to be a big update tomorrow that comes with a lot of the fixes for the game, like the dreaded mannequin issue, where obviously you'll have the cutscenes and the characters' mouths aren't moving properly all the time.
Yeah.
And adding something called like River Raid to the game, some sort of event thing where you can go and earn new loot, new gears. It's all to do with your hired Yorms Vikings and stuff.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
Can I ask you a question about Valhalla?
Yeah.
My loyalty is to the Saxons, not the Danes. Will the story allow me to serve the Saxons in the establishment of England? Or am I fighting against the Saxons?
you'll be beheading Saxons and lopping parts.
I don't want to do that. Beheading Saxons. So you are a Dane in this game, right? Is who you play as?
Yeah, you play as a Dane, basically settling in England and trying to make trying to make peace to a certain degree with varying factions around the land.
But what if my loyalty is to like the Celts or the Picts or the Britons
or
the Welsh?
You fucked, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
They're in there, but unfortunately, they're usually the ones trying to attack you, so you have to put them down.
Okay, and is there a lot of supernatural stuff? Because the early Assassin's Creed stuff that I played, it had like magic orbs and like technology, and like, do you go on the Animus in this game?
Only a little bit.
You spend less time. Yeah, okay. You spend less time in the Animus in the last lot of games. I think Ubisoft pretty much worked out that when they
no one gives a shit about any of that
simulations every now and again, it's like, for fuck's sake, like back here again. Like I've got to sit through loads of story waffle and context before I can get back in and have some fun again. So there's way less of that in the latest games.
Get it, Colin?
Thank
it's
you.
Amazing.
I'm considering it.
It does look good. Obviously, there's been improvements for the next gen versions of the game and whatnot. But overall, it's a fairly decent package. I mean, we should start getting the DLC stuff sort of starting to come through now anyway. Another thing I think I did see on the patch notes, the mysterious abilities that I mentioned a week or so back that occasionally appear in your skills menu and cause issues. They're being added to the game as well in this update, which is good because I'm kind of almost hitting complete level cap, I believe.
Wow.
I'm not far off it. Because I think I heard anyway that it was only 30 mastery points you can spec into each tree of the 3 trees. So it's technically 490 power level if you're looking at it that way. And I'm probably well over sort of 450 now, I suppose.
Wow. You've pumped a lot of hours into this, mate.
Well, there is a lot to do. If you're doing all of the side questy stuff and getting frustrated stacking fucking stones, then it does take you a while. I mean, obviously, if you fast track the storyline, you're not going to be too long with it.
Yeah.
But I just generally haven't done that. If you've got this beautiful, well-created, like I've always said, if you've got a big, vast, beautiful-looking world that they've created, I want to look around it and experience as much of it as possible. Because also, while you're going around and doing all that sort of stuff, it immerses you. I find that immerses you more in the game rather than just being like quest at a certain degree. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all I've played, bar Fortnite and Black Desert sort of daily login stuff, mucking about.
That's the quickest Switch games played ever.
I think there has been a quicker ones in the past, to be honest.
Maybe, I don't know. That was quick.
Yeah, there hasn't been a great deal of stuff out. I think the next big one I'm kind of looking forward to would be the possibly Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then you've got in April Guilty Gear Strive coming out.
That's definitely a Darren game. I know it's a fighting game.
There was supposed to be an open beta for it this weekend, just gone, because there was a lot of footage and stuff that came out for it. I noticed.
Oh, cool! Awesome. Right, is that it, Darren? Is that you? Wow. Okay, I played a few games this week. Starting off, I've been ripping for a little bit of Game Pass on the Xbox One. My Series X hasn't been shipped yet. It's on back order on shop2.net, so it could take a month or so to actually turn up. So fuck knows when it's gonna come.
It's in China. It's in China still, mate.
Probably, yeah. So I am looking forward to it, but it's not like one of those things like I need it now. It's just like, yeah, I've paid for it. It'll turn up hopefully in the next 3-4 weeks or so. It just would be nice because I've been finding myself playing quite a bit of the Xbox. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Battlefield 5. That's on Game Pass. I did the first mission. Actually, really enjoyed it. It was quite tough, though, to be quite honest. It's actually quite like the intro to Battlefield 5 is really well done and really sets the mood for that World War II era of history. So the first mission, you're a British guy and you've got a choice of going to jail or going into the army, and you get so obviously you join the army and you do some quite cool missions. It is quite linear, and then after a little while you get to like an open world area where there's missions to do dotted around the area, so you need to do them all, but you choose which order you do them in, and because it's open worldish, you can choose how to get to the objectives. But it is very, very difficult. I mean, I'm just playing it on normal and I've died shitloads, so it is very, very hard. I've not tried the multiplayer on it, to be honest. I'm not interested in the multiplayer, and I know it's got a battle royale mode. Don't give a shit. I'm just going for the single player just to experience the campaign, really. Yeah. So I've only, as I say, I've only played the first mission, and I was just very impressed with how smooth the gameplay was and the graphics and what there was the story at the moment. So if you've got Game Pass on Xbox, give it a download and check it out. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Cool. Right. Moving on, the Battlefield 4 community night, and I've mentioned it. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone again. I had a really good time on that. That was really, really cool. Just very briefly, I've been playing a shitload of Rocket League more on the Nintendo Switch, my PC, and the Xbox. Again, this game is perfect because your account carries over on all the platforms. All your progress, everything just carries on. So that's really, really cool.
Ours playing soccer.
Oh, mate, it's fucking brilliant. It is so addictive.
Okay. My kid likes it too, but I don't get it.
It's really, really good.
Let's move on.
I've been playing a little bit with my Nintendo Switch. Well, I'll say a little bit. I've become a little bit addicted to quite an old game, Stardew Valley.
I saw that on earlier.
Yeah,
you liking that?
I've become a little bit addicted to this, to be honest. It reminds me a little bit of Farmville, and I know that sounds a bit sad, but it's like you're a dude who gets sent, so you quit your job in the city and you take over like your dead relative's dilapidated farm, and then you get set to work clearing the farm, and then buying seeds, planting the seeds, watering them. You can go fishing, but it's actually quite a little bit more deeper than that. What I found playing it this week. So next to your farm, there's a village, and there's all these people in the village, and there's little shops and stuff. And it's a bit like I was talking to my missus about this, and I was saying it's a little bit like Animal Crossing in a weird way, in regards to your villagers, because you can build up little relationships with the villagers. You can give them presents as well.
Ooh.
And there's certain ladies who are single, so I'm guessing you can get a love interest going in this game as well. So
I believe so, yeah.
I'm really liking it, but because the map is actually quite big, and you get these little quests to do, like if you want. So I've got one at the minute where I need to build a coop for some animals. So I need to like clear my farm and make some money and collect wood. So there's resource gathering, so you're chopping down trees and gathering stone and wood and various other things, and money by selling your crops and stuff, so you can expand your farm, like make your house bigger, build coops and all that sort of stuff. But there's a little bit of a mystery going on as well. So I had a little bit of a thing where I had to go to the community centre, and it's haunted, and there was this weird writing which I couldn't read, and then I got a letter in my letterbox saying go and visit the wizard. So I went and visited this wizard who gave me the power to read this weird text, and there's like some ghosts who can help you along your way, and so that's a bit weird. But overall, it's just the thing that I'm finding quite addictive about this is just every day I wake up in the game, because the days go very quick, and then you're like, right, I need to water my crops if it's not raining, get some water in my watering can. I've adopted a little cat I've called it Bella. So I've got a little cat that's running around
Only
my
right.
farm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just, I love the music, the art style, just everything about it is just really, really cool so far. You can, if you want seeds, you can go to the shop and buy crops, like seeds to grow your crops and fertilizer and all that sort of stuff. I know I'm making it probably sound a bit boring, but I don't know, man. It's one of those games. It's perfect for the Switch handheld because I can play it on the sofa sitting down while the kids are watching Disney, because that's all they fucking. My TV is just hijacked by the Disney Plus bloody channel thing, the streaming service. So so I can watch the kids and play this at the same time, so it's fine. Because unlike Rocket League, because what I found with Rocket League, if I'm playing that on my Switch, like the games are about 5 minutes each, maybe a little bit of overtime, but it's like in that 5 minutes or so you can't do anything, you can't put it down, you don't want to let your team down or miss, defending or scoring. Whereas this is like, it's chill, I can pause it whenever I want, on the Switch power mode thing. Yeah, it's great. It's a great little game. I'm loving it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's that. Okay, I've got a couple of main games I've been playing. I just want to say I'm all caught up now on Final Fantasy 14 storyline, so I'm waiting for the next patch. So I'm really, really enjoying that. That's all I'm going to say on that. And on Xbox, so this is fucking typical, right? Last week, I said to everyone, I started Final Fantasy 12 on PC. I'm loving it. So I bought it on Steam on a sale about 6 months ago with the intent of playing it. So I started it on the PC, put only a few hours into it. And then literally a few days after the podcast where I said I was playing it on Steam, it fucking comes out on Game Pass, doesn't it? Fucking typical. It's like, no way. I can't believe it. So it's actually on Game Pass PC and Game Pass Xbox. So I've actually decided to restart it, and I have restarted it on my Xbox because I always find like the Final Fantasy games are I find a little bit better suited to a console, sitting on the sofa, feet up, just chilling out, and playing it. So I've been playing that on the Xbox quite a lot this past week, and I am absolutely loving it. It's very MMO-like, as I mentioned last week, but the storyline's really good. I've gone quite far. I put about 4 or 5 hours into it now, and I'm getting well into it. I just want to know what happens next. The only thing that's a little bit let down, as I say, is the combat. I think is just not that. It feels very MMO-y, and that's what put me off it originally on the PS2. But it does have some intricacies to it. So there's got this system called the Gambit system. So you can, so your party members, you can set up these systems for auto attacking, and you can rank them like, if a party member goes below 70% health, heal, and then second stage is attack and all this sort of stuff. So you don't have to worry about it. Or you can set all your party, like in classic games, to just always take your directions. So there's a little bit of play there. And then you've got this license board. It's fucking massive. So you've got loads of different classes, which are all from like the MMO Final Fantasies, like Machinist and Knight and White Mage and Black Mage and various others. So you can all your party members, you can just you can change what class they are pretty much whenever you want, but they've got this little license board. So you earn these points and you earn licenses to upgrade your magic and so you can use more powerful weapons, etc., etc. And I'm actually really liking that system. It's really interesting because it just makes you think about your tactics a little bit. Graphically, it's a remaster of a PS2 game, so it looks okay. It's not great, but you can look past that, right, and just enjoy the game for what it is. So this is my Final Fantasy game of choice at the moment, and then after this I might go to 6, Nicky, I don't know, but I highly recommend this game. It's on Game Pass. It's part of the service. I can't believe what Microsoft has done. They've got Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, and 12 on Game Pass now. That is insane. You know, that's just crazy.
To make sure whether you make like multiple saves for that on the go, because you can sort of lock yourself into a dungeon.
Yes,
you can't go back and forward. So you don't do that as much on newer games, but older games you do have to do that.
Yeah, so luckily it gives you a warning about that as well in your save file. So yeah, I mean, and every game I play, I normally have about 8 to 10 saves on the go anyway, because like us old school gamers who used to use memory cards, who used to get corrupted saves every now and again. You always have multiple save files, right? That never leaves your mind. So 10 and 10-2-1 on Game Pass. Sorry, Byron, I stand corrected. Thank you very much. But all the other ones are. Anyway, what else have I been playing? So my main game this week. I have a main game, and that game
Tell us now.
is Valheim.
Okay,
Valheim!
Okay.
This game is fucking amazing. It's a Viking survival game. I'm trying
Only on the PC?
Only on the PC. I hope this comes to consoles. I really do.
I'm out.
You're out? Well, you don't have a PC, so you can't play.
Keep going.
Anyway, I want to give a big shout out to HDub, the community member who I've been playing it with. We've set up a 360G Valheim server, but it's only running when I'm playing because I don't want to pay silly money to have it running when I'm not playing. But we've got a server, 360G. It's called 360G Valheim, and if you see me online, the password is 360 Gamercast. So come join. And the world is just insane. So it's a Viking survival game.
Resource management.
So you got resource management. You've got bosses. You've got enemies. So it's basically proper survival game. You start off and you're set in this world, and it's like, right, I need to chop down trees, mine some rocks, build my first axe, and you start from there. So you start off, you go like Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, and all that sorts of stuff. Mining materials, building. So it's a mixture between like, I would say Minecraft, because it's got all that Minecraft building aspects to it, right? So you like building your base of operations, like fences. You can build a ship later on and go exploring. So myself and HDub did that. And as I say, it's got loads of like enemies and wildlife that you can kill to get, so you kill deer, so you get meat off the deer and deer skins. So you cook the meat and you can use the skins to make leather, to make armor and weapons and stuff. So it's very, very deep. Every single world that you create is procedurally generated, so no world is the same. And there has lots of different areas. So you've got like a meadows area, a black forest, a swamp, mountains. Now, all these different areas have different resources, different types of trees, different rocks, to get different stuff. But the main thing about this game is there's bosses. So you unlock the bosses as you go through the game. They're all in different areas, and you need to figure out in game how to unlock them. But the point is, right, you need to make sure you've got all the right equipment, weapons, everything like that before you even think about taking on these bosses. So I've done 2 bosses so far, and they were fucking mega hard. We're working on trying to get to the 3rd boss at the moment. We think that the clue is in the swamps, because we've got a swamp key from the 2nd boss. And it's really weird, because it's like a mixture between mellow base building and resource gathering mixed with intense fighting, because you could be mining some ore or some copper or something, or chopping down some trees, and then all of a sudden a giant troll will come bounding out the forest towards you, like, oh fuck, I better switch to my sword and fight this bastard, and all this sort of stuff. So it's very there's a lot of challenges within the game, but it's one of those games that it's perfectly fine to play it single player, and I've got a single player world on the go. But what I'm finding is when I'm on my own, I'm going into the 360G world just to gather resources for the crew, but it really opens up if you've got a crew who you can game with. I mean, I've just been playing with HDub, and I would love to be playing it with more people. You can have up to 10 people in a server at once. And we're just having a blast because we're chatting away and we're like, right, we're going to go over to this area and mine some stuff, or we're going to go in the Black Forest and find some crypts to go in where there's like skeletons who want to fight you and stuff. And it just makes it a little bit easier with those fights when there's 2 of you or more. And it just brings a little bit more... I don't know. I think games are a lot more enjoyable just in general in co-op, right? It's just... You're talking about your base, how you're going to build your base, what you're going to do, and you're helping each other out. You know, like HW will be like, oh, I want to build this sword, but I need these items. And well, let's go fucking farm them for you, mate. And we'll go off and we'll do that. And it's just a bit of accomplishment, you know. And yeah, I'm loving it, mate. It's one of those sneaky games. You know, you get those sneaky games every now and again. They just come out of nowhere. And you just buy it. It's only 15 quid, and that's outstanding. It really, really is. There's so much you can do in this. It's, you know, you've got the resource management. We've got like loads of different chests in our base, and we've put little signs above all the chests. So we like put wood in one chest, stone in one chest, trophies, you know, like meat in one chest, berries in another. So we've got it all organised, right? And then you're like, right, we're going to cook some meat, and then we're going to make some mead, and we're going to do all this other stuff. And oh, it's so fucking cool. It really, really is. It's like, it's even like gets down to the intricacy of, right, we need to smelt the like tin and copper together, right, to make
you know, Minecraft.
Yeah, it is, but better. I think it's. I'm really into that Viking thing at the minute anyway, because I'm watching Vikings. It's got like all the lore of the gods and all that sort of stuff in it, and man, it's just so cool. It really, really is. This is my game of the year at the moment. That is how good it is. Wow. Yeah, brilliant. So I really want to get more people involved in the community on this, and I know there's a lot of PC people in the community at the moment, and who have I've seen playing. So we need to get together and do this. It's awesome. I mean, the map. You're just insane how big the map is. It's just nuts. It really, really is. And you can even do things like build portals. You know, so you can like take your longboat out to the other end of the world, build a portal, and just portal back to the base. But you can't take minerals that you mine in the fucking portal, so you need to go in the ship again. And it's like even things like the weather changes, like you can get storms which affects everything. The cold affects you. You know, it's just insane. It really, really is. There's a lot to think about when you're playing this game. There's even sea monsters. So you got to watch out for them as well. So and it's really weird because you look at it up close or in a stream or something, and you think, and people have been saying to me like, it just looks a bit shit, like graphically, and I'm like, up close, yeah, maybe it looks a bit Minecrafty, but it's just in the distance it looks beautiful, and the lighting and the day-night cycle, everything just comes together. And this game is still in early access as well, and it's already sold over 1 million units, and it's only been out a few weeks. It's very popular right now, and I didn't even. The only reason I found it is because I saw it on Steam. It came up, and I was like, "Oh, this looks interesting." I watched a review, and I was like, "Awesome! I'm getting this." And now it's a game that everyone's talking about online. So yes, it is good.
Nice.
That is all I've been playing, guys.
Cool.
So I will regale you with more Valheim stories in the upcoming weeks, I'm sure. You know, because it is, yeah, it's fucking great. I can't stop smiling when I'm thinking about this game. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, cool. Right, so I don't actually think we've had any questions this week.
Bloody hell!
Oh no.
Wah, wah.
Very disappointed with the community having no questions. Is there any questions on Twitch before we end? Because there's literally fuck all on Facebook, and fuck all on Twitter, and fuck all on Discord. No?
That's it.
That's the end of the show then.
Yay! Fireworks.
Woo, that's the end of this week's show. So a big thank you again to. Oh, Strokey says, "What's your worst Valentine experience?" I've never had a bad Valentine experience, mate. They've all been very rewarding. Hey.
I suppose a few years ago, I missed out on working the night of the I worked the opening night of the 50 Shades of Grey film.
Oh God!
And that was horrific. It was just absolute bedlam. The amount of drunk women there was just eye-opening. But yeah, that's about it really. All I can add to that. Basically, we were pulling bottles of Lambrini out of the screen afterwards.
Oh my God!
So make of it as you will. And there was all sorts of other horror stories I saw doing the rounds. So yeah.
I have an announcement.
Yeah.
Go on.
I have just defeated Peebs in chess.
Yes.
And it only took me like 8 moves.
Wow.
Rematch, Peebs.
Nubbity.
Oh,
Nub.
Nubenstein. Cool. If there's no other questions,
Where were we?
We're talking about Valentine's experiences, bad ones. There isn't any? No. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think we're going to end it here then. We've been just under 2 hours.
2 hours.
For the actual recording piece.
Not bad.
So that's fine.
It is a Monday after all.
It is a
Let's
Monday.
get in Warzone.
Let's get in Warzone. I might actually watch Vikings before Betty buys.
I heard it's gone to shit though, Pete or Webby.
Well, I have to say it has, but I'm on the last half of the last season now. I've got to finish it. Can't leave it unfinished.
I watched a film on Netflix called The White Tiger yesterday. It's excellent, and I encourage people to watch it.
Cool.
Okay.
Dan, I think this is right up your alley.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, have a look at the trailer and see if it's your kind of thing. But it gets very dark.
Okay.
It's Indian.
Okay, I'll find that.
Hell yeah.
I did watch last night. I watched Class Action Park last night. The documentary about hilarious. I mean, as an ex-health and safety professional, I was like, "Holy shit! Oh my good God, what's going on?" Oh man, it was just suffice to say horrific. Yeah, it's just they had teenagers in charge of the park, and everyone was pissed and just doing what they wanted. The Wild West. But if you're interested in that, I think if you're in the States, it's on HBO. But over here, it's on Sky, or if you have Now TV, you can find it on Sky Documentaries. I do recommend. It's an eye-opening hour and a half.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
Yeah, man.
Cool. I'm just watching this Valheim video. There's a troll attacking someone's ship. I've not had that happen. Fuck that.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah. Cool. All right then. That is the end. So thank you to all the patrons that made this week's show happen. And no one else is going to hear this who's not a patron. So
yeah. Don't cancel.
Don't cancel. Keep it coming. Keep it going. It's all good. Right. That is the end of this week's show. Thank you very much. So from me, Mark Webb, Game Tag Piss and D Steam ID, Webby 360G.
And it's me, Cinema Dan. Goodbye.
And me, Kaliwali. Auf Wiedersehen.
Folks on Twitch, I was serious. Come follow me and give me all your money, not Webby.
And Sensational Bitch.
So thank you very much. You can find us on Twitter at 360GamerCast, Facebook, same thing. Discord group is in the show notes. That is it. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Cool.
Awesome, mate.
Cool.
Done.
Good
I'm already
times.
rematching with Peebs. Hell yeah.
Oh, what do you reckon? Yeah. Is he still in the chat? Is he still listening to us, or is he retired?
Probably.
Yeah.
Who knows? Have you had a nice day off anyway, Colin?
Yeah. Got some gaming in. Played a bunch of Cyberpunk.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm simultaneously romancing Judy and Pan Am. Hopefully, I can get it in with both of them
Utter
because I'm
flirt.
a main slag. Yes, indeed.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Thank you. Please don't. What if you shag one, you can't shag the other? Is that the way it goes?
No.
Monogamy.
It forces monogamy on you.
You aren't really allowed to sleep around. Some people do find out if you do.
And some people might not be
will rage out
attracted
and
to
try
the
to kill you.
opposite sex.
Ooh.
Keep it in your pants,
Pan
mate.
Am. No, well, my brother said he already got it on with Pan Am, so I'm assuming you're talking about Judy. I think it's safe to talk about. All right. I'll convert her.
Yeah. Lols.
That's not following the science. Sorry, Dan.
It's all right.
Cool.
Do we want to get in party chat? Do we want to? I don't have Gears installed, Dan. I'd give you some. Gears
Nah, it's all right,
games,
man. Well, it's a bit late now, mate. So I'm
10:40.
I've got.
Who's working tomorrow?
No, I am. I've got a full-on day of calls and shit tomorrow. So I need the wits about me.
It's
Makes
just
sense.
Crap, I've got to be up at 4:30.
Even when I'm off, I don't get a lane because my children will wake me up anyway.
Ah.
So
they're making you breakfast in bed soon, probably.
Oh, it'll be nice.
Maybe. Yeah. I doubt it though.
I wouldn't trust a 3-year-old to make breakfast, but there we go.
Well, you get some good shit. You will. You'd be like getting like Cocoa Pops and chocolate milk.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Cool, Bam.
Are you up for gaming? Are you gaming? Are you, Colin? It's early for you, isn't it?
I mean, I could play some Warzone if people want to hop on. Peebs, hop on. What's he saying in the chat? I just closed the Twitch.
He's not talking. I think he might have left.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, he said tutty bye. Is he? Yeah. By the way, I think he's the only English person I've ever met that says tatty bye. Is it widespread or is that just his thing?
No, it's just him.
It's just him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's odd.
Posh boy peeps.
Yeah, posh boy peeps.
Posh boy peeps.
Yeah. Common as fuck, but he's aiming to be an aristocrat.
Yeah. He drinks his tea with 5 sugars and puts his pinky in the air when he's sipping.
Pinky in the air? Yeah, pinky in the air.
Then he has 5 pints and has barroom brawls.
Yeah.
Right, lads, I'm going to shoot off. I've got to be up in work at 4:30.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, man.
That's right. If I get tired, I'll just sleep at work. They won't mind.
Nice. Well, good speaking with you guys.
Yeah, cool, man.
Talk to you soon. Yeah.
Boys.
See you later.
Cool. Take it easy, guys.
Tatty bye.
Tatty bye.
Tatty bye.
Tatty bye.
Adios.